Alright, Warzone casuals. I think that casuals gets a really bad rep. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's an integration of bots in it. But, you know, the average player coming home and the average player that, you know, used to play Call of Duty back in the old days without skill-based matchmaking, and you hear a lot of the complaints now with how restricted skill-based matchmaking can be, just wants to get on. They're barely a 1 KD. Now, the general player base of gaming and the general player base for Call of Duty has gotten better on controller. For sure, 100%. That has improved over the years since I've even been playing with a controller in my hand. However, I think the biggest issue is that every single lobby that you get into, because everyone has gotten better, feels like it's a constant fight for your life. You can no longer get on and feel the same thrill you felt of just playing games. And for whatever reason, it is what it is today. And so playing casuals, personally, as an older gamer, as someone who cannot keep up, man, I like it. I don't mind it. Now, do I wish that there was more of an integration of players in there? Yes. Is there a real way to check everyone's KD before they get into the lobby? I'm sure there is, but at that point, it's just going to feel like you're gatekeeping and feel like it's not for everyone. It's already a restricted mode as it is. Now, it's literally the same gameplay as regular BR. The only difference is now you have bots mixed in with it. And honestly, the way that they've been kind of sprucing up these bots here, man, it feels like they can do a lot of cool stuff. You know, they're throwing nades. You can get down by a bot real quick, dude. And I think that a lot of people feel that casuals is not worth it. It's catering to the lower half for two reasons. I think the main one is that, you know, it's not the same. It's not well earned if you win in casuals, because you didn't have to sweat for that win. You didn't have to do, you know, all these hardcore real players. You didn't have to beat them in a gunfight. And now I understand that argument. I do. There's nothing better than feeling good after destroying good players in a lobby. But there is a huge player base, which is just casuals, that just get on and play and feel like they can't even play. I'm talking about the people who don't even have time to grind camos. The people who have that one favorite gun, the group of buddies that they play with, and they just want to play a game where they feel like they can win in a gunfight. So for that reason, I do enjoy casuals. I like casuals. It's fun to shoot at some players and feel like you're winning. You know, so I get it. I'm here for it. Then the other argument is your skill base. If you play against bots all day, if you play regular casual mode, you're not going to be improving yourself as a player. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, just because, you know, not every player is trying to play to just become an absolute sweat. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with just jamming out some casuals. I really don't. Now, I do get the argument, and I understand what that means, but it's not necessarily the case. You can learn some things here and there without having to play a sweaty fest Warzone. And is it fun in general? What's the mix of integration between bots and players? Is it all bots? Is it all players? And I would say that for the most part, like that's a guy, that's a real player. I would say like the most part, you don't know and you won't ever know. I mean, you can tell first time, oh, that guy's a bot or that guy's not. But a lot of these players play similar to the bots. We've all gotten in lobbies where it's like, holy cow, I can fry, and it feels good. So I think that with the community for and against casuals, I just think the biggest issue is we're on our own way. I 100% think that there's nothing wrong with just playing casuals. I like playing casuals just because it's fun to get some kills up. I'm not grinding camos. It's a great way to grind camos. But I also think that there is a huge, vast amount of players who cannot play as well as they should. Or as well as they need to be able to play to keep up with today's skill base. And I want Call of Duty to stick around, and I want Call of Duty to be able to be played for years and years and years without people having to feel like they have to constantly sweat or they have to somehow improve their skills so much, and the only way to do that is to cheat in order to feel the same feeling that you can feel now in casuals. You know, so I think that if more and more people played casuals and enjoyed it, then there should be nothing wrong with that. And I think that it should be kind of more modernized today. You know, even now, like, oh look, a fish. I'm playing against some teams that are pretty decent at the game, to be honest. And these are real players. I just have a little bit more gun skill than them. So I'm kind of beating them. However, that could easily happen to me real quick if another player came up against me, which is probably in this lobby, that has, you know, a higher skill than I do. So I wish that it didn't get as bad as a rep as it does have. I fully understand both sides. I think casuals is great for players like me, honestly. Like, as I get older, I'm not gonna be able to play as good or as well as I'd like to play. And there's really nothing wrong with that. Bots don't climb buildings, so that's how you know it's a real player. You know, I truly think that this is a fun game mode for all. Now, I understand the other side of it. It's like, well, what's the point? Because then you're just going to get people in there who sweat. But eventually they get bored, right? It's not as challenging to them. It's not as fun. So for them, it's like, well, why am I going to keep playing this solos crap? Or this quads, you know, casual crap, if I can't get the same dopamine. Similar, but it's not the same. But if you want to practice gun skill, I think this is a fantastic game mode for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Shoot some bots. A little better than going in a, like I didn't know I was down here and he made that mistake. There's one more up there. Bro, it's kind of crazy. I don't have all the plates that I thought I had. But again, there's in my mind, dude, there's really nothing wrong with it. I think it's fun to play. I think, again, the general, like, that was a whole group of real players right there. not everyone's going to be as good as they should, or, you know, feel like they should play. Then you have the absolute sweats. Like myself, I don't even last sometimes at the full end of these games because you get down to like the last 2 teams or 3 teams. They've just out-rotated you. They've, you know, they're just better. They have a better gun skill than you do, and there's nothing wrong with that. It sucks because you want to win, but at least in this game mode, I feel like I have somewhat of a fighting chance. You know, the only thing that is unfortunate is the kills, right? Like you're not going to necessarily have the same amount of kills as you would normally. Just because, you know, you're shooting bots all day. Yeah. And, you know, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. Again, this was a great, fun game. Now, did I necessarily go out there and kill a full 27 people? No, I'd probably say it's maybe like 8, 10 to 11. You know, and the rest were bots. But again, I think it's a great game, and I truly do think that, you know, it gets a bad rep, man. It really does.